American are donated, about 550 million, in the interest of small business and entrepreneurialism. So it's pretty darn wonderful when you think about it. What we do is offer a 4-month program in the Goldman Sachs program. 4 months, it's 11 days. It's actually 8 Fridays, 3 Saturdays, and 5 evenings, and it is free. And the other program I'll talk about is the SBA's program, which is a 7-month program, also for entrepreneurial CEOs, also free. So technically speaking, an entrepreneurial CEO today in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex can get roughly $100,000 worth of free education, which is, if my last calculation, is the price of an EMBA at SMU.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you will not learn much about how to run your small business there unless you go through Jerry White's program. And I don't know, I got my MBA and it told me very little about entrepreneurial characteristics and what it takes to do that. So I'm going to walk you through this. Happy to answer questions. Just stop me if you have a question as we go along. But I'll talk about our participants and the program overview and what to expect, who should apply, all of you, and application details and alumni testimonials. So our participants, 48% of them are women-owned businesses, and they've been in operation for 2 to 100 years. The requirement is for 2 years to be able to be eligible. I will tell you, though, that we're going to be running this program through 2018. We do 3 of them a year. So if you're just starting out, you need 2 years under your belt, and you can apply, which is perfect. You employ anywhere from 4 to 150 people. It's you plus 3, basically. Those people can be full-time, part-time, interns, contract, whatever category that you need. And we're looking for people who are representative of their communities in a range of industries. And annual revenues in the last 12 months have to be $150,000 to $4 million. Now, in the SBA program, it's $400,000 to $10 million. So you can go through this program, grow your business a bit, go through the next one. And to me, that would be a great growth plan. So the program overview, this talks about education for business growth and support that's there. The education is really phenomenal. One of the things that really stands out, there are 5 clinics. 2 of them are a really deep dive into your financial statements. And some of you in here who work in that industry, you pretty much know how it is, but you also know how few entrepreneurs really know what to do. And the idea of looking at their cash flow makes them twitch. So the fact of the matter is that we give that kind of education along with leadership. And one of the great nights, there are 5 clinics. One of them is called You Are the Lender. And this is my very most favorite clinic. We have bankers come in and they act like small business owners. They play that role. And the small business owners in the training cohort act like the bankers. So the bankers are actually applying, and they do all the things that we as small business owners do, which is why we don't get the loans so often. And it's just one of the funniest things. We have a guy, he's actually president of Axion, Texas, and he came in and his role was to play a really arrogant doctor. And I'm sure no one has ever met an arrogant doctor. Not at all. And of course, there are many wonderful doctors too, I hasten to say. But what was really fun is, so the scholars who were in this cohort, what they would say is, they said, we'd like to talk with you, Dr. So-and-so. We'd like to talk with you about this acquisition or whatever. He'd say, I went to school for 20 years. And they said, well, yes, but we'd like to talk. He'd say, I'm a surgeon, just do the same, which is a lot of times what people do is rather than answer the numbers. So the most common thing that I heard from the entrepreneurs when they were leaving there was, now I understand why I didn't get my loan. So it's a really wonderful education. There's a negotiations clinic, and I don't know about you, but in all my years of school, nobody ever taught me negotiation skills. And so this is just a marvelous opportunity to get up to speed on those. And then there was this wonderful night, it's a legal clinic. Goldman Sachs had 23 attorneys on premise. So every small business owner had one-on-one time with the attorneys. We collected questions beforehand. They did a presentation. Everybody had one-on-one time. And then they dissected several case studies to give people really an idea about the kind of legal support that might be important for a small business owner. So it was really just a marvelous, marvelous evening. And then you've got leadership, you've got with your people. There is one of the classes, it's a full day. It's on actually documenting your business processes. And people talk about that. If you know people who Lean Six Sigma and all this stuff, and they've done this, and they went way back to Deming or Duran and all of those folks. But the fact of the matter is they probably have never documented their own. And that's where you can hear the drip, drip, drip of money coming through the cracks because those processes aren't documented. So we actually take people through. And the woman who teaches this is just an amazing teacher. And she knows this better than anybody I've ever met in all my life. So it's pretty phenomenal. The really great thing about the education piece is I swear to you as I stand here that you'll get something that you can put into your business that evening or the next morning. So it is pragmatic to the core. It is tailor-made for small business. Oh, and it's a flipped classroom. How many of you know what a flipped classroom is? It's all the rage these days. What that means is, you know how you're used to, like I'm standing here and talking, this is sort of traditional, right? Nothing like this in the class. It is peer-to-peer learning. You're put in growth groups. 3 times during the course of the curriculum, you're in industry groups, so you get to assess your competition as well as give each other really good ideas. It is really amazing, but it is the kind of thing, there is so much wisdom from other small business owners, just like what you heard in here tonight, and the wisdom is always in the team, so we do that in the classroom. And so it's a facilitated discussion as opposed to having somebody just give you this and you regurgitate it back. That doesn't work for any of us. It is lifelike. It's the kinds of things you face every day. My favorite definition of an entrepreneur is we're the people who work 100 hours a week for ourselves so we don't have to work for 40 for somebody else. See, and I know that laugh. That's everybody who knows that. I mean, that's what we do. So the fact of the matter is how to do that productively and profitably, that's the name of this program. The second column here about supported, this is amazing too. Goldman Sachs has an Alumni Association. Currently there are about 5,000 members. They're adding about 2,000 a year. And what that means is if you're in a business and you want to scale it, and you want to scale it elsewhere in the US or the world, that you've probably got somebody who understands that, who's also an entrepreneur, who might be interested in a joint venture, partnering up with you. Or maybe they want you to do an acquisition of them. I mean, you never know what somebody's exit strategy is. And we do a lot of work around exit strategy in this as well. Because if you don't know where you're going to end up, you're probably not going to get there. So it's supremely pragmatic. The support, when you're in the course, you actually are assigned a business advisor. You'll have 4 to 6 contacts with this person. They will help you through because there's a deliverable. So it's free, and in order to get entrance into the Alumni Association, you have to prepare and present a 5-year strategic growth plan. Those business advisors walk you through that process. They hold your hand, they help you. They won't write it for you, which is appropriate, but they will help you get through it. And when you come out of there, you've got 5 years laid out for you and all the support you can imagine. That's pretty nifty. This whole program is built on revenue growth and job creation. And every time I look at that, I think, how many of you have done Strength Finders? You may have done the Strength Finders workshop where you get your top 5 strengths, because whatever you have, you probably carry them all the way through your life. Well, there's a new book out, Strength Finder, Entrepreneurial Strength Finders, based on the same Gallup research. So